Gentlemen, 109 film nominations, 76 awards, 4 Academy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, 171.6 million box office on a $25 million budget. Today, we're talking about an iconic film, No Country for Old Men.
Okay, I got the first question.
Cool, talk to me.
What would you do to keep $2 million? Because that's what this film's about.
Not what he did.
Hey,
not what he did.
No,
that's the question. What would you do to keep $2 million? You got 2 factions coming after you.
Mm-hmm.
The Mexican cartel and one crazy ass dude who's relentless, a pure psychopath. I love it. Javier Bardem. Yo, this dude is no joke. No joke.
So, spoiler, but I think he's one of the best villains of all times. One of them.
Oh, I definitely put him up there.
Absolutely.
Villain.
Javier Bardem in general plays a great villain because and Skyfall is still my favorite James Bond movie. Yes. And he played the villain in Skyfall.
I forgot that was him. Yes.
He was less menacing than this character in this film, but he still had this presence about him in each scene where he was almost playful with as a villain, but you just kind of knew like he wasn't all there, and so to see him in this role, this role was obviously before that one. He brought his A game like that. This was the stuff that legends are made of when it comes to a villain like this.
Dude, opening scene, insane. This dude's absolutely nuts. You kill the cop right there. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this dude?
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about this too. Salute to Anton Chigurh. This might be, and I went on a reach last time we did this, and you guys like, Charles, you gotta relax. This might be one of the most unique murder weapons we've ever seen in film.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
airboat gun. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yo, it's perfect. Yo, it's brilliant. It's actually brilliant. Like no bullets, no shells, no nothing. Just one and done.
Now, isn't that the same thing that they use to take out like the sheeps and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They actually mentioned in the film that's one of the things they used to kill cows.
Cows.
Yeah,
I remember that
cows.
From the movie It, when the one of the characters' grandfather was shooting all the cows.
Right. And you took it way back.
He tried to get his grandson to kill the cattle, and his grandson freaked out, and he couldn't do it. So that's when I seen it, I was like, oh, I know what that is. But that is, like you said, one of the most unique weapons you can ever have. Because the cop, in the beginning, the cop was like, yeah, I seen him with an air tank. I don't know.
Yo, second weapon of choice. That's the first time I seen a silencer on a pump shotgun, dog. That was the first time I ever seen it. I was like, what the hell?
That was crazy.
And just really quick on that, on the previous weapon, the air tank, it goes to show you how clever this character was. Where he pulls up behind this old guy driving the car, pulls him over in the cop car, walks up to him. The guy sees him holding his air tank and looks at it and is like, no, what the hell's going on here? And doesn't think twice about it. Like, well, he thinks a little bit about it, but he can't stop because he doesn't feel threatened at this point. Not realizing how deadly the weapon was. It was genius.
Yeah.
Bro,
I love what he said. He told the guy,
you have to be to walk up to somebody, put it to their head, and just let it go. Like, that's nuts.
I love it when he was like, I need you to stand still.
Yeah.
I'd run.
And you know what's funny about that? It goes to Adrian's point earlier about you gotta have a piece missing to be an elite villain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, hands down. Think
Come
about
on.
all the elite villains. They all had something missing inside.
So let me ask you this though: which one did you relate with, Josh Brolin or Javier?
Well, you leave out Tommy Lee Jones, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what? It was funny. Tommy Lee usually takes the lead on all types of movies, but in this, I feel like he fell back somewhat to it.
I got something for that, but go ahead.
No, I know what you were saying, Mo. I'm gonna beat you to it. I'm gonna beat you to it. So in this movie, right? We just mentioned all three characters, right? All three main characters. And this,
Who, by the way, are never in the same shot.
That was my
Yeah.
Never in the same scene. I watched this out. I remember watching the breakdown for this before watching it for the second time, and listening to it. And it was like, that can't be right. So I go through. I'm watching scene by scene. I'm looking at this and like, huh. At no point are all three of them in the same scene. And it's
Wait,
like that.
wait. They weren't in the street fight?
Two of them are in the street fight. There's three main characters.
Right.
At no point are all three main characters in the same scene. And that was brilliant.
Even if you go back and look in that street fight, they're never in the same shot.
Never the same frame. Yeah.
Never in the same frame, correct. It's broken up. You see the different perspectives as the street fight's occurring. It's incredible cinematography. Go ahead.
Which was a great street fight. That was a great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When he shot the guy driving the pickup truck, I was like, when he hopped in the pickup truck, I was like, no, come on. That's why you don't pick up people off the street.
It's like at this point, like you need to stay away from people to protect people, my guy. Just stay away from innocent people to protect. You got that person in the truck killed. You got the person at the motel killed. Everyone you go around is dying.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
But keep in mind, you still got $2 million. The question is, and like I said in the beginning, what would you do to keep that $2 million?
Well, I'll tell you the first thing I would do. I wouldn't have went back to go give that man no water.
Nope.
You kidding me?
No, that baffled my mind.
But I understood why he did it, though. I
don't.
I do. I understood it. Because you're first of all, we're dealing with a two-time loser. Okay?
He's about to die.
He's a two-time loser. Josh Brolin, you know what I'm saying? Lil this dude, he ain't never had luck in his life. You know what I mean? And you can tell that by the scene with him when he first opens up, of him trying to shoot the deer or the gazelle or whatever have you.
In the back leg.
He shoots this deer or whatever, and he got him dead on and no success.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, at least
he hit the dog.
Huh?
No, he hit the deer. He hit the deer.
He hit it,
okay.
but it didn't go down. That's what led him to the money. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I'm glad you brought up the dog. Dude, that dog scene?
Which one? Chasing him?
Yo, that dog scene was
the chase scene?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bro, in the water? Yo, what I liked about this movie was it gave all the sum of all fears. You know what I mean? All in one movie. Like, sure, I got this money, but now I got to go through hell and high water to keep it. A dog's chasing me. Now, the advantage he had was in the water, but I'm like, I don't know why he got out the water. First of all, it didn't look like the dog was having any success in the water, but I would never got out. But, I mean, that's just me. But, yo, that scene was epic.
That was intense. I
thought it was great how slow he was able to move. Because usually in movies or in life, when people is under pressure, like the dog's running right at you, you're under pressure, you don't know what to do, you're shaking. But he was nice and calm, cleared out the gun, opened the gun, blew to dry it out, loaded it up, and was able to make that shot. But
go ahead, sorry. So that went to show, or to kind of set the stage there, that he was someone who was comfortable with guns, who was comfortable with those types of weapons. So
Mm.
when you have shootouts with this assassin, Bardem's character, it's not too far fetched to understand that this is a guy who can hold his own with a rifle or with a gun or something like that. So you kind of got that feeling from that scene and a couple of others where you saw him handling the guns.
Absolutely.
There's a beautiful thing about this film. So, granted, this is my first time seeing it. Released in 07, Lamone, I think you told me.
Yeah, 07.
My first time watching it was last week, as we talked about doing it for this review show. And the beauty of this show for me, it forces you to be a movie viewer. Too many movies today, big explosions, all these kind of things that direct you away from real cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
This movie gives you that in spades. It's all over the place. When you're getting it from the dialogue and the actors, they're very poignant. They're very specific. They take their time. The layers of the storytelling layers in this film, incredible. I mean, come on, this is, if you're a cinematog, is that the term? Cinematog? Whatever the term.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're that,
I think it is.
if you're that, this movie's for you because it gives you the best of director work. It gives you the best of cinematography work. It gives you the best of all that. It's incredible.
So, and usually when I think of cinematography, right, and I see cinematography that I really like, is very cinematic as far as having kind of these lavish layouts, like these scenes that kind of draw you. They try to draw you in because they're so vast or they're so complex. But with this film, it's so deliberate and so grimy that when I was looking for this great clear cinematography that kind of pleasing to the eye. But when I think of it, what I get drawn to is when the Tommy Lee's character and the other sheriff come to the shootout scene, and there's a dead dog laying there, and it's like this is drawing me. This at one point it's focused just on the dead dog, and I'm just like, why am I so captivated by this dead dog? Right? Dog was shot. He was shot before Llewellyn came back, so that dog was right there for a while. I want to say, but it was just like it was like the deliberateness. And Chuck, you mentioned like the way they delivered the lines. They delivered it deliberately, and everything they said seemed to have like some sort of purpose to it. And that was one of the things I thought was pretty amazing about this film. And again, I like the big explosion type of films, but this was something that was definitely different and something that definitely kind of drew me in.
It's more of an art piece.
Absolutely, yeah.
More of an art piece.
Oh, absolutely. You know what was killing me though? What was killing me was, why the hell didn't this dude get out of Dodge? That's what I wanted to know.
Well, wasn't he trying? I mean, he was trying to get down to Mexico. Was he not trying hard enough?
I don't know. He definitely wasn't trying hard enough for me. I mean, if I got $2 million
cash,
I guess you can't really just
you can't jump on a plane.
Bounce with it.
Yeah.
Why can't you?
Huh?
Why can't you? He should have went back to the house, got his girl. They were in the truck. Went to the airport.
Well, look at what happened when he went to the hotel. It wasn't even a whole day. This dude came back and dudes was ready for him.
So you gotta remember, Chuck, that they saw his face. They knew what he looked like. So as the movie went on, I mean, maybe when he first got the money, he could have left.
They should have never saw his face. You kidding me?
Bro, that first move with the bag, putting it in the vent, and then like getting another hotel to get it to the other side. That was some next level stuff. I was like, huh, okay. Like, cause I was trying to figure out where would I hide $2 million in a hotel room? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay. That left something in my mind. I was like, yeah, I might have to use that one day.
Yeah, but by then he's already neck deep in drama. The day I found that money, he went back home, had a beer, went back and forth with his girl, went to go lay down. Then he went, no, hey, yo, we're leaving right now.
Well, I mean, like I said, he was a 2-time loser. You know what I'm saying?
That was a mistake. Going back to give that guy water, because again, that's when they saw him. That's when they saw who he was.
But remember, there's a tracking device in there too, Adrian. So they would have been able to find him either way.
That's true too. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
For me, I felt like the water scene was brilliant because you got to deal about the humanity of a person. Like if he didn't decide to go back and give the water, you wouldn't see the humanity in him. Like you would have been like, heartless.
That's movie. Then.
Like that's not how. For me, I feel like that's not how people work. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's
you would feel some level of doing something to alleviate your guilt. Everyone does that. When you do something bad,
in that case,
you have to do something to alleviate your guilt. And seeing somebody, he wasn't saying, "Yo, bring me that bag," you know what I mean, so I can hold on to it and keep it safe. The last thing that this dude wanted was water. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go to the payphone. I might call it in.
You just got $2 million. You ain't gonna go to nobody's payphone. You ain't gonna go talk to nobody.
Well, I ain't going back to give him the water.
What I feel like, whatever act you're gonna do is in silence. And I felt like maybe he was like, okay, I left a dude out there in the desert that was kind of cold. I just came up on $2 million. If I could maybe alleviate some of this of not going to hell, maybe I might throw this dude some water. You know what I mean? That's a minimal of something. He's gonna probably die anyway. But what I could do is give him some water.
One of the great things about this film, and that's what that kind of slips my memory right now. One that Denzel did with Jared Leto over the summer, or last year, I should say.
Oh, that one.
I can't remember the name of it, but one of the things they did great with these was they made them period pieces. Because this film took place in 1980, so a lot of this would have been different had he had a cell phone or burner phone and say, okay, go get this guy from the desert. He didn't have that option, right? There and then have to be done. So like Jamal's point, he has to alleviate his guilt. He couldn't call from a landline. He didn't want to call from a cell phone or a payphone and have it be tracked. So it was. I think that was one of the things that paid off was having it be a film that took place in 1980 versus 1998 or something.
Yeah. Plus, even if it was that time frame, you got to think about how he got the money. Mm-hmm. He came up on it by accident. There was nobody else there. It was in the desert. Like nobody knew that this place, like these people were out there. This existed. This event happened. He went out. He found $2 million. Everybody dead, except for this one dude in the truck who's begging for water. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I went back and gave him water, it wouldn't have been no thing because I would assume that nobody was coming. No one seen him. Nobody knew that he was out there.
It's like at least 10 dead bodies there, plus animals. Somebody's gonna see it.
Yeah, but the question is, if all these people were shot up or whatever, and everyone was dead or whatever have you, why didn't they take the money?
Why didn't they?
Like, I'm assuming maybe this was a war between the people who ended up dying.
Yeah, they all shot.
Exactly what it was.
So I would have figured that nobody would have knew that these people were out there. But this $2 million was left. No one came for it. No one grabbed it. No one took it. So I'm assuming that whoever was out there who knew about the money were dead. So this one last dude who was sitting here begging for water, not the money, just for the water. I'm like, maybe I could bring this dude some water.
No, I believe both sides had bosses. I believe both sides knew where the $2 million was and where those drugs were. But those guys out there were just small change. They had the bosses who sent them there.
You're 100% right.
The drugs was there too. You had the drugs in the truck.
Right.
You had the drugs in the truck and you had the money. It was just a bad deal going bad. And I was going to say, Jamal, that's why you would have been the person out on the run.
Yeah.
Because you would have went back and brought that water.
Actually, honestly, I understood why he did it. But I would have been that dude.
We're talking about some of the great parts of the movie. And I'm not sure if I'm calling it a classic yet.
Yeah.
Because I have two faults, right? And you can't have two faults if you're going to be a classic. First fault. You can't build me a story this well, this layered, this complex. You spend an hour and a half developing these characters. I was totally engulfed. I was totally invested in seeing the culmination of Llewellyn Moss versus Anton Chigurh. I was totally invested on seeing who wins this battle. Hey man, come on, man. You can't kill him off camera.
Off camera.
Hey, no
Off
way. No way.
camera.
No chance. That's just
off camera.
And so when we're done with this review, and I say I can't call it a classic, you understand why.
Yeah, you can't do that. Because
I don't know. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that one, bro.
Before,
I don't know about that one.
I'm coming for you.
I don't know about that one.
It was a build-up. It was like, oh shoot. Oh, the hunter's about to get chased.
I gotta play devil's advocate on that one, dog. Because for me, I'm like, here's my thing. People die every day. You know what I mean? And it's like, even though we was looking at this guy, and we was expecting the villain, this top bad guy, to be the one to take him out. The truth is, as we noticed, everybody was after this money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was so focused on the villain who was coming at him that he forgot about the other guys who was coming at him, which almost made that perfect because it lets you know, yo, anybody can get you when it comes to this money. You know what I mean? It don't necessarily have to be that dude. You know what I mean? There was like you said, there was multiple guys coming at him. So I can kind of almost respect that. You know what I mean? He slept. He was at the pool. He seen this chick. He thought he was in the clear. Once he got rid of that whole tracker on it, he thought he was good for a second. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you can't sleep.
But this is another point of you got to keep your circle small. Because it was his mother-in-law who gave him away.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with that, I get what you're saying, Jamal, because I mean, me too. I don't mind, I guess, as much him being taken out by, other hitters, right? I would like to have seen it. I would like to have a scene similar to, we've seen it in some other films. Maybe we've seen it in other films. Maybe that's the reason why they decided not to do it here. But a scene where, he's, like you said, he's focused on Bardem's character. He's focused on him coming for him. He's focused on going and getting him.
Yes.
And doesn't see the person coming up behind this slit his throat. So in this case, now they shot him up. So I would like to have seen that play out versus, on screen versus off screen.
But see, that's the thing. You wanted the action between Javier and this dude. You know what I mean? You wanted that action to go.
I don't mind the shock value of not having that and of preparing for it, and then boom, someone else kills him. Yeah. Like I don't mind that. I get what they're going. They're probably.
We know they was already after him. We already know they was after them.
Like for me, I was looking at the purpose of like Tommy Lee Jones being there. Yeah. Like I was like, what is his purpose of being there really? Because he was like this slow sheriff.
I got two reasons why he was there. Mm-hmm. 2 reasons, and it kind of goes to this a new point. Like it goes to the question is, who do you think is the main character of this?
Well played.
Of this movie, who is the main character? Like we have multiple main characters, but there's always that one character who is the main character.
I think the main character was Javier.
No, it's Tommy Lee.
I agree. I disagree, Charles. So I think Llewellyn was the main character. I think this was kind of taken from the point of view of Tommy Lee.
Mm-hmm. I think Tommy Lee was though, because look at the name of the movie: No Country for Old Men.
Which
Tommy Lee was that old man that had no country. It was about his journey as a police officer. He's a police officer who don't carry a gun because he still believes in the old ways. He believes in justice and all that stuff. All this unjust stuff is going on. He's not used to it, right? So there's no place for him anymore. That's why when he was talking to his cousin, what did he tell his cousins? I feel overwhelmed. Like I feel outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered. I'm out of place.
That would explain
No
why we didn't
Country
see
for Old
the
Men.
whole action scene
Yes.
between of Llewellyn's death, because as a cop, you most likely don't come at that point. You end up seeing the aftermath. You know what I mean? So yeah, that why I didn't even see that. Like that made a lot of sense.
That
He
makes sense.
tells you that in the monologue at the end of the film.
At the end of the movie.
He tells you exactly that.
So just to so throw this quote here, Chuck. My quote of the film. And it says, one of the things that you realize about getting older is that not everybody is going to get older with you. That was Tommy Lee's character dropping that line. And that kind of links to Bone's point here, I guess, is that he was an older cop, and he already seen so many people pass, and his cousin who got shot and couldn't walk anymore, and just like all the people dying around him, and he was just like, no, he's old now, he's retired now, and he's like, nope, all the people that were around him before, they're all gone. I think that quote kind of summed up the film for me when I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place for a man like him that believes in justice, that believes in no guns, that believes in is working with your fellow man. There's no place in this world where you got people killing strangers just for money, right? There's no place for that anymore.
Gentlemen, that leads us to the culmination of our journey here on the Unspoken, where we are going to use a 5-star system as we discuss and review all of these films moving forward. I'll start with you, Jamal. 1 to 5, no halves, no percentages, nothing crazy. 1 to 5, how many stars are you giving No Country for Old Men?
5. Absolutely. I definitely give it a 5-star. It had a quality cast. It had excitement from start to finish. A great storyline. Absolutely. That's all I asked for. Like, it's not a problem. Like, 5 stars, absolutely. No questions asked.
Adrian Springer, 1 to 5. Where are you giving No Country for Old Men?
I want to come in at a solid 4. I would give it 4.5 if I could. But I would give it a solid 4. I thought the cast was superb. I felt the acting was on point. I felt it was definitely a film you had to pay attention to. But the point that we made earlier about that the final scene, I get it was Tommy Lee's point of view, but it kind of left me feeling a little unfulfilled at the end of it.
Great word. Moan Johnson, 1 to 5. No Country for Old Men.
A 3.
Whoa!
I'll tell you why. All right. First of all, there was no score in it, and some people think that's a beautiful thing. Not so much for me. Second of all, it took away from my emotional heartbreak of when he got killed. I was tied into him following or running, and then I was also tied into him. Now he's going to go after Sugar, but now they just killed him off screen. There was an emotional moment there. If they would have let me see him die, I could have had a moment. A real heartbreak moment. They took that away from me, and that is why I give it a number 3. But overall, it was a good film. I'm not saying it was a bad film. The acting was great. The storyline was for the most part good. It just took, and the way it ended, I was like, really? You're gonna end on a dream?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing? But yeah, I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, I think I'm with Adrian on this. I'm gonna give it a 4. I think the emotional letdown of not only me not seeing Llewellyn Moss's death, but there's something else we didn't get a chance to talk about. We're up against the clock, but there's a death of his girl that was also off camera.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So yes! And so if there was anybody in this entire film you had an emotional tie to, it was the girl.
It was
right?
her, yeah.
Okay, somebody has to be the victor in this story. Maybe she gets to be happily ever after. She has the money. He kills her off camera. Come on, man. No, I can't. I can't let you listen.
Technically, you don't even know really if he did kill her. I mean, you have an idea because he came out and he cleaned his shoes and he won't take no for an answer when it comes to the coin flip. Like you have to give him an answer if she refused. But you don't know for a fact that he killed her. Because You didn't hear no gunshot. You didn't hear nothing.
Can I get one more brilliant thing on here?
Talk to
We
me.
have a second.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out what year this movie took place, and my first time seeing it, I didn't realize what year the movie took place. I figured it was like maybe the 70s by their outfits. Then I watched the breakdown. It said it took place in 1980, and I'm thinking to myself, at what point in this film do they mention the year 1980? They don't. But when he was having that really intense conversation with the store owner, and he gave him the quarter, he said he was talking about the journey of the quarter and how the quarter was made in 1958, and it took 22 years for it to get to you right here, right now, for this coin flip that he made. And I was like, if that's not intimidating, I don't know what is. Like that was.
Dude, that was ill. That was ill conversation.
That's brilliant writing right there.
Absolutely.
Brilliant writing. That's brilliant.
I missed that too.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay. Listen, man. We're up against the clock. The Unspoken have spoken. We're giving this an average 4 and some change. I think where we're going to land on this. We're calling it. It's close to a classic, but it's not a classic.
Wow. I'm so
So, until the next time you see us, this is your boy Charles Jones.
Supermoon.
Movie J.
Mr. Cinema Adrian.
We are the Unspoken. We have just given you a very valid reason why No Country for Old Men is not a classic.
Not a classic.
It's classic enough.
I definitely beg to differ.